This is most likely the only actual vlog I'm ever going to do, or at least I'm ever going to publish. I was taking a shower earlier and I was kind of thinking to myself, how do I deal with negative things? How do I find the drive, the capacity, the ability to move forward despite feeling like shit physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, whatever it is? I always find a way to kind of push through things regardless of that. And it's not like this is some denialism bullshit or escapism, but what I tend to do is in every situation, I find something funny and novel that I think could come out of it. Not that I have a lot of hope for it. So, for example, I am talking with this random person. I took it upon myself in I play Honkai Star Rail, and I got a little bored recently, so I decided to just like start interacting with random people on my friends list because why the fuck not? What the fuck else am I gonna do, right? So I decided to do that, and I'm talking with this person, right? And I think, how funny would it be if this is like the beginning of some type of like, friendship that I have with somebody, or like whatever, like meeting somebody in a way that you would not expect, So like that's the thought that I have in my head is what a funny little story I have to tell in retrospect if that seems to work out, right? Now, that isn't something I carry to like, motivate me forward. I'm just still doing the things. And then I have that kind of like goalpost, that like, that thing to anchor myself towards for my behaviors going forward. So like rather than just kind of like meandering in misery, going through tough times and just feeling like everything's aimless, and sometimes I'm doing things that maybe help me and sometimes I'm doing things that maybe hurt me, or I'm just fucking lazy or whatever it is. At the end of the day, I still have that thing that I have imagined in my head to like anchor myself towards in terms of my behaviors, right? So I already have that taken care of. Like, oh, what a silly story this would be if this is how I met somebody, made some kind of friend on the internet or something, right? Like I have a lot of friends, but I don't really ever try to make friends. And I think that would be an interesting little thing to have happen, right? So I have that anchor, right? And then now my interactions with this person all filter into feeding that anchor, right? Like we're sending little stickers back and forth. Oh, they asked me a question about myself. Okay, I answer the question. I ask them a question back. And it's all progressing towards that thing. And maybe someday they just stop fucking playing the game and they're done. They fucking die. They die in a fucking Banana Republic civil war in their country, and I never hear from them again. That can fucking happen. I had a friend on Steam that I used to play Man's vs. Machine in TF2 with, and he was telling me how he wanted a pizza, but he couldn't afford the pizza because it was like $36 in his country, and this was like in 2011. So like $36 for a pizza in 2011 is an insane price, but I believe he lived in Latvia. That's where he lived. He lived in Latvia. I know where that is. I am not geographically stupid. But anyway, I didn't have the means to send him. I would have sent him the money, but I didn't like have PayPal or anything. I don't think he had PayPal either. I didn't really have the means to send him money, and I think I had about like at that time, I think I had like $500 to my name in 2011. I did not have a lot of money, so I wasn't really in the business of handing out money. But I still would have done it, I think, if I had the ability. I just didn't have the ability to, sadly. But yeah, that's how I generally kind of get through things, is just anchoring myself towards some type of actual meaningful positive outcome that I can imagine, because it's not like that takes away all the negative thoughts or all the bad things or like the disappointment. And it's not like I don't have disappointing thoughts. I probably have more disappointing thoughts than most people on this fucking planet. But it's important, I think, to give yourself something to guide yourself in your behaviors that you can tie. Like the work is already done for me, right? Like now that I have this like imagined positive thing, now I'm like logging on and oh hey, like the person responded. I'm gonna have a little chat with my little internet friend. How fun is that? Now suddenly I'm feeling better that I'm fulfilling not only my goal, but I'm also just having a fun little chat with my internet friend who doesn't speak English. So I have to like go to Google Translate. I have to translate a message. And like, I think that's adorable. I think that's fun. I'm having the time of my life interacting with this person from South America. I think that's hilarious. I love this. That's wonderful. Maybe they turn out to be an NSA agent, and this is how they like finally entrap me in some type of smuggling or something. Maybe I'm gonna be, part of some type of like human trafficking, or maybe tariff exploitation. That's gonna be the new thing, just coming up with this Trump tariff shit. I'm gonna get involved in tariff exploitation, and that's what this person is going to be doing. See, right? But like, look at how all these silly thoughts that are fun and silly and humorous have diverged from my initial thought of, wouldn't this be a fun way to meet somebody? Is it not? In a game that has no reason to socialize with anyone, that's where I meet somebody to talk with, and I'm just chatting, having a good time. And then from that, all these silly things happen. See, because I don't live life based on how reality is. I live life based on the reality that I want it to be, or the reality that I see. And then I just filter things through that. And sometimes, obviously, things don't make sense, or things don't add up, or maybe it fucks with your memories a little bit, and they're incongruent both internally, or they're incongruent with other people externally. I had that happen one time. I didn't even remember going and seeing a movie with a friend that I saw like a day before, because I used to work third shift, and my memories were so fucked up when I worked third shift that I just did not remember anything that I did. I couldn't even remember seeing the movie with my friend. I don't have no idea. I mean, I know that I saw it. I do remember going together, but when I was talking to him about it, I just couldn't remember. It wasn't there, Sometimes that can happen, right? But, we take the little sacrifice for reality, and we just have a little bit of fun with it. We just sprinkle in some little zest. Just have a little fun with it. That's all. That's how I get through the hard times, I feel. That is the most successful way that I found, is to just find something silly to anchor yourself towards, so that when you do need to kind of be like, do I want to do something good, or do I want to like take a nap, or just do nothing? Do I want to decompose? Do I want to decompose, or do I want to do something that satisfies or takes a step towards my goalpost, So I take a step towards the goalpost and I feel better and amazing, but like, or I can decompose and I'm just like a rotting corpse, right? So when you give yourself that anchor, you have something to walk towards. You have something that guides you. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about things, I suppose, right now. Not really going to get into why things are bad. Just know that they are. That's all you need to know. I'm not not going to get too personal about it. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really done a vlog video, and I guess I just wanted to kind of record my thoughts on this, because I feel like they're kind of interesting a little bit, and maybe get at a kind of the silliness that I am, or the silliness that I get up to anyway. I keep looking at the preview image and not the camera, and I'm noticing my eye line is like really fucked up, and I'm afraid how that looks on the recording. But whatever, who cares? I don't know. No one's even watching at this point anymore. This should have been 4 minutes, and that's 8 minutes somehow. How did I do that? I can hear the saliva in my mouth churning. I'm gonna get that southern drawl real soon, just like my history teacher did when he would be lecturing for like 45 minutes, and you could see the film of the saliva and the spit start like immaculately forming in the side of his mouth, and that's when you knew you were going to get the real good shit in the history lecture that day, because that was a 3-hour fucking once a week history class. Wait, was that once a week or twice a week? I don't fucking know. That was an insane class. I love that class. I remember we got done. It was like 8:37. I don't know. We had like 16 minutes left in class. Class gets out at like 9 p.m. We had an exam that day. The teacher looks at the clock. He says 16 minutes. And he says, pull out your notebooks. I can do some damage. And then he starts lecturing. I've never seen a teacher do something like that before. And that teacher was so fucking awesome. I've never been so about it in my life. That fucking shit was amazing. I know some other people were probably pissed because, like, I mean, everyone just wants to go home after an exam, right? But no, it's time for a lecture. Time for a lecture at a 8:44, whatever the fuck time it was, p.m. Dear God, But that's what I think about. I think about, that mindset that I have to be in to like be like, yeah, time to write some fucking notes. I would never do this. Usually I'd be like, man, this fucking sucks. I hate this. But you know what? There's just something special about it, You just have to find something special. You know, I'm going to take a line from my favorite video game, Until Then. You just need to find that spark. And it helps. What do you need to find that spark? Well, you need creativity. You just have to be creative. And if you're not creative, well, life's going to be hard for you. Life's going to be really hard. So, I don't know. Get thinking, I guess.